watching Caitlin Clark or watching Juan Soto for the Yankees now, watching certain people, Mike Trout last night, watching people just perform at an elite level. Devin Booker had a huge night last night. When you watch greatness, there is something to be said about how enjoyable that is. Like, wow, I'm watching someone that is so
in the zone.
Yeah.
Betts for the Dodgers has been on another planet.
I think, what did you say? Mookie Betts had more home runs than swings and misses?
Yeah.
Dude, Anthony Volpe right now, 4 for 4, first 4 for 4 career game yesterday with the Yankees. But if you watch this dude, he's batting like 570-something right now, just hitting the ball everywhere right now. So, it's fun to see when people are in that zone.
How about the Oakland A's players hitting 480 and got sent down?
Yeah, right?
I saw Mike Trout.
Sorry, man, I'm feeling a little sick.
I couldn't tell. I saw Mike Trout hit that home run in Miami that I feel like 473 was an understatement. I feel like that ball looked like it went 570 feet.
They said it was a Stantonian type of blast. Hadn't been hit that far.
Everything ties back to the Yankees, huh? Stantonian, Volpe.
Who's sorry now?
Says the guy who talks constantly about the 49ers and the Mets. In fact, stay tuned because we're going to talk about the Mets relief pitchers in just a minute.
You don't say.
It was an all-star game home run from Giancarlo Stanton in 2017. It's the last time that a ball was hit that far in Florida. And Trout did it yesterday, 473 feet. That's the fact.
Mike Trout is considered by many as the biggest waste of talent. And there's nothing worse than wasted talent. Learn that.
In A Bronx Tale.
As kids. It's a famous quote.
It's from the movie. I never heard it anywhere else than that movie.
Well, people always say wasted talents.
I never heard the saddest thing in life or the worst thing in life is wasted talent. I know that only from A Bronx Tale.
Oh, I thought that was also a popular sentence.
Really? I don't know. I thought Chaz Palminteri made it up.
Hey, Chaz. So, there's someone that I think might be even more wasted talent than Mike Trout. Because what is the Mike Trout vibe has made it to meme form years ago, where, what do people like to say? Mike Trout, 3 for 4 with 2 home runs, and the Angels lose.
Yeah. And I do think, and maybe you'll get to this, so I apologize if I'm getting ahead of the buggy here. Wasted talent sometimes is thought of as someone who had all the talent in the world and didn't do anything with it. You're talking about a talented guy who is on a team that is wasting his talents.
Yes, thanks for the difference. You're absolutely right. There is a big difference there. But Mike Trout wasting away for the better part of his career on a team that can't sniff the playoffs is wasting what Mike Trout could be. You could argue that for the last couple of years, Justin Herbert wasted talent for the Chargers because everyone had high hopes. And finally, now they have Harbaugh, so we'll see what happens. But watching the lowly Mets lose again yesterday. Pirates are looking good. There's teams that you didn't know were going to be good, and they're looking good.
Are the Pirates going to be good, or are they just streaking right now? Just playing well?
That's the thing. You never know.
Right?
Like you told me, hey, the Mets could just be having a rough couple days.
Yeah, it's too early to panic, dude.
Pirates are 5-0. Yanks are 5-0. Detroit's 4-0. But as you watch Edwin Diaz come out of the bullpen for the Mets, Timmy Trumpets playing in the background. I always have, cue up some Timmy Trumpets. I'll give you the exact title if you need it.
Iowa Sam should have a trumpet on standby. Just bust it out.
I want him to learn.
Yeah.
Oh, I have trumpets on standby, just not Timmy Trumpet. I have
it's called Narco.
I have this. That's a fun one.
That's a good one.
That's pretty good. Hey, that's pretty good, Iowa Sam. I didn't know you played.
No. There you go.
Is this is there several versions of this? This is like the single. This is the recorded.
The Mets, it's 0-0. Scoreless game. They bring in Edwin Diaz to get an inning of work. Now the Mets at Citi Field do a whole light show. Lights are flashing on and off. Dun, 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 dun.
Theatrics.
Fans are going crazy. Mr. and Mrs. Met are on the dugout with trumpets. And I'm thinking, what a waste. There is a team, Dodgers, Yankees, Braves level, that would die for this guy. He is the most exciting, dominant closer in baseball, and he's probably going to end up with 25 saves on a crap team like the Mets.
And his talent's being wasted.
In the prime of his career.
With the Mets right now.
You can't hit this guy. Unhittable. But will it matter? No. It's like Mike Trout. It's like Justin Herbert. Anyone else come to mind? Think about that and let me know. At 877-99 on Fox. A guy that wasted his primo years.
Mike Trout really is the number one example of this, though.
You've had a girl tell you, you wasted my prime years. Covino dated a girl from her mid-20s to 30, and then they broke up, and she's like, you wasted my prime years.
I mean, I've been told that a bunch of times, but it wasn't my fault. Again, a Bronx Tale style. The saddest thing in life is wasted talent. It's when the talent is wasted on a team that's going nowhere.
Yeah.
I could have been somebody.
Yeah.
I could have been a contender.
Like, right? Or you just had the wrong people around you or something.
Who's that NBA player? Could you say Dame for a while? Like, Dame was just sort of chilling in Portland, like being loyal, and then finally made a move? NBA, MLB, NFL, you tell us at 877-99 on Fox, what player is wasting their primo years on a team that's going to give nothing to them? Because I think there's a new number one answer on the board, more than Mike Trout.
No way.
And it's Edwin Diaz signing that long deal with the Mets. He's making $20 million a year as a closer.
When you factor in the theatrics and the trumpets and the light show, I get it. You got all this hoopla
Hit the Timmy trumpets
for the weakest team. But Mike, it doesn't trump the Mike Trout answer. Not yet. Mike Trout has been an MVP caliber player for years. And by the way, to prove the point, Mike Trout hits a 473-foot bomb yesterday. First since Giancarlo Stanton. I don't know if you knew that. And
player just came to mind. Barry Sanders.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. But Ron Washington actually had to call like a team meeting just because the team's playing so bad. So he's still part of like the weakest squad. So I still think
that's a question in itself.
I still think Trout is the number one answer.
That's another question in itself. Do you like a manager 3 games into the season saying team meeting?
Trying to stop the bleeding. I know it's premature, but again, like you got to feel bad for guys like Mike Trout who are surrounded by just terrible output.
Listen, people say Mike Trout, he's the modern day Mickey Mantle. The stats sort of align, but the guy hasn't sniffed the postseason. Wasted talent on bad teams. Mike Trout, you said Barry Sanders. These are top answers.
But
Justin
Rich, you're
Herbert?
saying there's a new number one.
I think there's a new number one. Cue up the Timmy trumpets again because Edwin Diaz, unhittable. The guy's got movement. There's a good chance Edwin Diaz comes out, Covino, strikes out the side. But it's not going to matter because my Mets stink. Alvarez, great young catcher. Yeah, Pete Alonso's going to hit 40 home runs, but he'll bat 200. Lindor, face of the team, arguably. But besides that, I don't know. These guys like Nimmo, McNeil.
Wasted talent is sad, a la A Bronx Tale. Like, even in my family, I won't call people out, but in my family, I have some really talented, like, relatives. And you see fear, like, keep them from pursuing their goals and doing something with it. You know, like I have a family member who could fart out lyrics to a song and create a beautiful kick-ass song in just minutes. And I'm like, well, dude, do something with it. But fear, like, just stops you from pursuing. Fear exists
in their dojo.
Yeah, fear exists in their dojo. I think, I mean, why else wouldn't you put yourself out there in that way and let people witness the greatness?
Well, these are people. We're talking about players that are talented. They just got stuck in a bad situation. Let's go rapid fire, then we'll go to Dan for an update. Clay in South Carolina. We'll start with you. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Clay.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on. How about Calvin Johnson with the Lions?
Yeah, they can never really get it together. A la, like you said, Barry Sanders. Any really, standout player on the Lions for a while was just realizing it's not happening. What about Mike in Colorado? What's up, Mike?
You're
Wasted
the,
talent.
You're the diamond.
What's up?
Wasted talent. How about 8 Pro Bowls, 6-time All-Pro, twice Defensive Player of the Year, has an award named after him, and team never made the playoffs.
Did I guess?
Dick Butkus.
Ah, that's a good one. Dick Butkus.
Thought we were playing NFL trivia.
I know. What's up, Dan Byer?
A. Dick Butkus. No, that's next hour, right? Joe Thomas, Cleveland Browns.
Oh, yeah.
All-pro tackle, and the Browns just couldn't do anything around him.
They only
never
went
missed
through-
a snap.
They only went through 33 quarterbacks while he was there.
Yeah,
But you know,
absolutely.
there's something to be said about being that one shining light that fans get to root around. Like, you know, I'm a spoiled Yankees fan. I get it. But, you know, Don Mattingly was that guy for years. Like, he was just wasting away on some crappy-ass Yankees teams, right? Never sniffed the playoffs until his last year.
Yeah. See, the bummer though about those Yankee teams of the 80s, if there were wild cards,
oh, yeah.
they weren't like 60-win teams. Just Don Mattingly was on teams that won 85, 90 games, and sadly back then,
But my analogy is
tough.
guys like Dick Butkus, you know, they gave the fans at least something to cheer about. Otherwise, you had nothing. So they're the one shining light, the diamond in the rough.
There was always a guy like that.
Which gives them a level of at least significance. You know, they're still great. They were just in a bad situation.
Like when we were kids, the Cubbies were not good. I always felt like Ryan Sandberg and Andre Dawson. That Cubs team when we were kids never did anything.
No.
I was like, man, Ryan Sandberg
Rhino.
just wasting away in Chicago.
Dawson hitting what? He had like 49 bombs one year.
Yep.
Oh, I just saw that Trout homer for the first time.
Oh man,
my
scooped it up
goodness.
too. Low pitch.
Yeah,
It looked like a Mike Schmidt type power swing.
Off-speed pitch had dipped a little, and he just dipped a little for it, and he elevated the S out of that pitch. It went beyond the M in left center field.
Who else do we got? Wasted talent.
Lowen in Colorado. What's up, man?
What's up, boys? Yo, so you guys were talking about Damian Lillard, a few minutes ago in Portland. At what point do we really start having that same conversation with Luka Doncic? I understand that Mavs team is they're decent, and they did a good job getting guys like Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively through the draft and free agency and everything, but this doesn't feel like a championship team to me.
It's a great point because
he's 25 years old, but at what point do we start talking about him being a wasted talent in Dallas?
Luka, Lowen, that's a great question because Luka is, we keep forgetting. It's been a couple years now, and they remember for a minute it was like, oh, maybe Kyrie's the answer. I think he got another year or so before it's like, all right, well, what are we doing with this guy?
That's why you can't blame some of these guys for wanting to move on. It's like, hey, man, I'm in this to win this. Not in this to be the best guy on a weak-ass team, in a weak-ass organization. So
Carmelo was a guy that never really played for a winner.
He played for the Lakers at the end of his career, too. He had some chances.
Yeah.
He played in big city teams.
The difference, though, is I think some people feel that he contributed to part of those problems.
To the problem.
Right?
Yeah, I agree. That's why I was skeptical to even say him.
He was on the Rockets. So he had his chances, though.
Mike, you're on in New York. What's up, Mike?
It's going to go a little bit different direction. It's the NBA, but D-Wade, he was out there by himself before they brought in LBJ and Bosh. He was by himself for a while, I think. And my favorite one, though, was Paul Pierce. After McHale retired and Chief and Bird, and after they all retired, he was the last guy standing. And he's like, hey, wait a minute. Isn't something going to happen for me here in Boston? And they brought in Garnett. They brought in that sharpshooter, that three-point sharpshooter.
I mean, listen, D-Wade won, he won, so it's hard to argue that. But, it is interesting when a team sort of falls apart. It's like, who's left? And you're like, oh, they're sort of left there. Like when LeBron left Cleveland, it's like Kevin Love's like, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Like there's always someone that remains.